So first,
Absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast with video for Patreon. How
Let's
exciting.
do it.
Remember how I usually have such a long title? Not anymore.
Nope.
Shut that down to also. But before we get into all the fun things we have to talk about, we have an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube, and a Patreon. All the links are in our bio or our description, whatever you want to call it. You can find it anywhere. DM us if you're lost. Also, please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps the podcast. Great. That's my intro. It's short, sweet, and to the point.
And it helps our mental health. Tell me you love me just
What?
once. Just once. Give me a review.
People disgust me. Don't tell me anything about myself. Only if you
Tell
wanna
me
fight.
good things. Tell Alicia bad things.
I just want to fight. No. Today my friend did send me a video, and it was like a meme, and it was like when you're deciding whether to let it go or start an argument. And I was like, always start an argument. Immediately.
Oh my God. I feel like I don't even think that thought goes through my head. I think it's just always an argument.
Yeah. Why would I let it go?
It's like an on-ramp. There's no stoplight to decide, stop sign to decide, go or not go. It is an on-ramp into argument central.
I was like, always start an argument. But I guess people decide. I don't know.
Guess
Not me. Not me. But let's jump right into it because we got lots to talk about, surprisingly, because for a second, I think this morning we had very little to talk about, and now we have a lot to talk about.
I know. I last night I went to bed the night before we recorded, and I was like, man, I need to get on TikTok and find some topics or some news because I've got nothing to share. Like I had a TikTok link in here to talk about, and I immediately deleted that within the first hour and a half of my day.
No, let's talk about our small celebrations first. Meredith, what's your small celebration?
I learned today that the break I have between Christmas and New Year's, like apparently my company takes it off. And I just thought it was like, oh, we're just like not going to work so hard. But no, it's like they expect the whole company to shut down. And I've never had that. And I am so freaking excited. I was like, no, are you for real? Like, I don't have to sign on. And my manager was like, there is no expectation for you to do anything.
Oh my God,
and I was like,
lovely.
Can't wait to peace out, bitches.
How amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm like going on a trip with some of that. And I have my PTO added onto it. So for like 2 weeks, I won't be working. I don't know if that's ever happened to me.
I love that for you.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
What a great day.
What's your small celebration?
I saw Wicked.
How was it?
It was really good. I cried. It was so good.
Wait, without giving us spoilers away, why is everybody crying? Is it just because it's so good? Or is it like something that they've done differently?
It's very good, first of all.
Okay.
It's also really special, I think, as like a fan of Broadway, to see these two women who were like always Broadway kids. Like Ariana and Cynthia were meant for Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
But then to see them like Wicked, to play either Elphaba or Glinda is like the top spot in any theater kid's life. Like Ariana has been dreaming about this since she was 10. So the opportunity to like watch these two women play these characters was like really beautiful and amazing. And then on top of that, because we have 2 3-hour-long movies now, which I guess is a fine thing, but they were able to really dig deeper into the nuances of the characters. So like me, someone who has seen Wicked many times and listened to the soundtrack a bajillion times and knows like the lore behind it, I know that like the show at its core is about female friendship, and like the complexity of Glinda the Good is like very deep in a way that the musical just doesn't have time to get across. Like her character she wants to do good, but in the musical you're like, she's kind of the villain because she does bad in the end to her friend Elphaba, but they're still friends. So part of me growing up was always confused by why people even like Glinda. But as I grew up, it's because she sees goodness as like an action to do instead of like a thing you
Thing to
should
be.
you should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you see Ariana really make really good choices to like show that complexity. And then they did add one scene that absolutely fucking destroyed me. And it wasn't even a scene they added. It was just like an extra, I don't know, 30-second part, and I was sobbing. It's like
Wow.
amazing how a really good few actresses can fuck up my day, cuz man, I was in shambles.
I'm dying.
It's so good though, and Jonathan Bailey is so hot. I'm so over him.
I'm so mad that he plays like for the other team because
I'm so mad. He's so
I
gorgeous
have thought about that literally since
since
Bridgerton,
Bridgerton.
and it has never lost my mind. It's like stays pretty high up there every time I see him.
He's so hot. He dances amazingly, and you're
I
just like,
heard his horse in Wicked is the same
mhm,
one as the one in Bridgerton because he built a relationship with this horse, and I'm like, you're just so amazing. You are
yeah.
just so amazing.
There's so much Wicked lore, which is like extra fun. Like Cynthia and Ariana sang all the like songs for filming full out.
Oh my god.
So parts in the movie are from them singing full out, and some stuff is from the recorded version, depending on the sound. But they try to use as much like actual live as they could have. So the fact that that happened, Cynthia Erivo also did all her own stunts. I think Ariana did too,
Whoa.
but Cynthia had way more on the fucking broom. So she was like singing while doing these damn stunts.
I saw a video about that too. She said she had to
Mhm.
learn how to like kind of sing differently because she was
Yep.
like floating in air and some of her like
Yeah.
how you
And your
breathe it
diaphragm gets hit. Yeah.
changes. Yeah.
Oh, the
Wild.
lore behind Wicked is amazing. I will say,
Yeah.
watching the two of them do interviews is so funny because they can't stop touching each other.
Yeah.
And they're always like so like someone could be like, I really love the movie. And they'd be like, that is so sweet. And they'll
It
like start crying and you're like, ah.
it's funny because if I saw that like 6 years ago, I would be like, that's so disingenuous. Like I don't believe them.
I believe them
But
though.
I
They're
I
so
believe
weird.
them, but they're the
Yeah.
only people who can act like this where I'm not like, shut up.
Yeah, it's weird. I will say my only qualm, because a part of me was scared that I would watch and only be able to see Ariana Grande as Ariana Grande and not
Mhm.
as Glinda. She did a fantastic job. The only time I broke out of the character was when Ariana and Ethan Slater, her now boyfriend, had scenes together, and I would be like, remember when he had a wife and a
Yes.
child? Like,
Yes.
that's all I thought about, and I felt really bad, but I would come out of it and be like, I can't believe they're dating. And I would break.
Sometimes the relationships that develop because they
So
filmed
crazy.
can kind of ruin the like story for me because I do the same
Yeah.
thing. I will always think about like couples who like met on sets and I'll be like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm so sad this didn't work out or I can't believe that happened.
Luckily, he's not in that much because he plays Bach, which is like not an important character. I guess he is. I take that back. Bach is a very important character, but he's not in a lot. So
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
to, and he's not in, if he was in a scene separately from Ariana, I was like,
You never thought
totally,
about it.
I didn't even think about it. But the minute those two got together, because spoiler, in the musical, his character has a crush on Ariana's character, but she does not reciprocate it. So she would like keep denying him. And I was extra just like,
You're like, why couldn't you have done this in real life?
is
Like
this
you
the
guys
real life? And then
were both
she
married.
caved? Yeah, what happened? Oh, it was so fun. But yeah, it was a great
You're
movie.
making me want to see it sooner, but I just
It
don't
was
like
really
crowded movies. So I'm like,
I
definitely, Meredith, don't get the itch over Thanksgiving weekend.
I understand, but it was so good.
I also need to triple check I don't get in one of those sing-alongs.
Sing-alongs. No, no,
There's
no.
there's like sing-along versions you can go to, which I think is cool
It's
that they're
better
doing
because
that.
you're not singing in the theater.
But like go sign up for that. I need to not be in that, and other people who want to do
No.
that need to sign up for that.
There are people who walk into the theater and go, I just want to be clear, this isn't a fucking sing along. My own mother, she was like, oh man, she thought I was going to have a different opinion. She was on the couch and she was like, yeah, we're going to go see Wicked Sunday. And I was like, okay, can't wait. And then she's like, can you believe that some people don't want others to like sing along to the songs, and I go, yeah, because that's me. And she like
Yeah.
looked at me, and I was like, don't you dare fucking sing. I'm paying to hear two Broadway stars sing
That's what it is.
renditions of other Broadway stars songs. I don't give a shit about your singing voice.
In
And she was like,
6 months, when this comes out on DVD or a streaming site,
sing at
everybody can
home.
sing along. Get
Sing at
after
home.
it. You know what? Even in like 2 months, once it's been out for a while and people go, you can't really be mad if for the 40th
No,
time somebody's gone,
no,
you're
I don't
singing
care.
along.
Nope. As long as it's in theaters, you cannot sing. No.
Lip
Unless,
sync it if it means something so much to you. Like, just I do not want to hear your voice.
no, I stand by if you are in a theater and it is not one of these weird sing along ones, do not sing. Don't you damn dare. I will have a fit. I told my mom, I was like, you so much just hum. I'm throwing hands.
Because I want to only hear them.
Like, yeah, people don't understand. I know every single word to this whole musical. I could forwards, backwards, write it down of every song if you want me to. No issue. I love these songs. I want to hear the renditions that they're coming up with. I don't want to hear my mother offbeat.
If there was an option to also wear headphones, like those noise canceling headphones while at the movie theater, would you do it?
So I only hear the movie.
Yeah, like it cancels out everybody's ruffling of their popcorn
No,
and
I think that's fine. Because I like when a collective like chuckle happens.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I like being in a theater amongst people, but it is so rude. It's like when you go to a Broadway show when someone starts singing. Like, don't fucking do it. It's the same thing. It is so rude. I
I think
once
people
actually
misconflate concerts with
like
like
musicals?
theater
No, no, no.
and movies. Like these are not the same thing.
I'm here to tell you no. I even one time went to a show where it wasn't even, well, it was a musical, but no one knew the words. But a family was being fucking rude near the front, and the actors were like, either you could sit down, like stop the show, and we're like, either you sit down or leave. And
Good.
they tried to make it funny, and then we like went out after to like try and see them exit the theater, to which we did, and we were right by the stupid family, and they like stopped the actor, and they were like, it was us you joked about on stage, because he did make it jokey, like we all
Yeah.
laughed and it was whatever, and he stopped and he went, that is so inappropriate. We are
Good.
out here doing a job and you interrupted it, and you better behave going forward. And I was like, thank God, because that is my biggest
That's
peeve.
insane that they were like, "Oh my god, you were joking about us. That
I
was
could see why they
us."
thought he was joking. It was very funny. They were laughing, the actors were laughing. Like, I get it,
Yeah, but when did we
but
learn common
it's
sense on how to
embarrassing.
act in public?
It was embarrassing.
I saw a video
So,
today of a kid literally destroying a plane seat to get it to lay flat. A normal economy, and people in the comments were like, the plane was silent, by the way. Nobody was getting up and doing anything. Um,
what do you mean destroyed?
like literally kicking. He was standing on the seat where your butt is and kicking at the back of a seat and literally forcing it by breaking it to go flat.
What about the person behind him?
Both rows were empty. I don't know if people
Oh,
left the row because he was just started destroying it, or if they were just empty to begin with. But everybody in the comments was like, how did people start acting like this in public?
could he not just get into the empty row and lay sideways?
Oh, his row was empty. Again, I don't know if it's because people are fucking terrified of this person.
The fuck is wrong with people? Also, though, hot take.
Yep.
I don't think you should lower your seat. I don't think you should push it back.
I only am in for it for long distance, like European flights where everybody is doing it. But if it is less than 2.5 hours, I find it
No.
obscene to put your seat back.
Mm, I don't put a seat back ever.
Ever?
I won't do it.
How do you sleep on like a flight to Europe or a long distance flight?
Even if I'm in economy plus, I'm normally not sleeping. I don't know why.
Man.
I have a lot of trouble sleeping on planes. But no, I like won't go back.
I'm in
Two
if
and a
it's
half
like
hours too
everybody.
is like not very long. I would say
No.
anything under 5 hours, you shouldn't lower
I
your
would just
seat.
say the like flights to like or like to LA or like the West Coast, which are like 4 hours, would be the like the ones that I
No,
do it on.
no. Because then I'm the worst. Because if you do that, I mean, technically the back of your chair is mine. So I'm going to move my backpack. I'm going to play with my tray. You're not sleeping. It's not going to happen. I'll
Oh
be
God.
rude. I don't care. Don't move your seat back and I'll be behind it. Because I will then start crossing my legs, but oops, my knee hits the back of your seat every time I do it.
Man.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll play with the TV and just start poking.
Maybe there needs to be a section on planes that are like seats that do move back and seats that don't. So then everybody's in agreement on in or out.
My favorite's when someone then has to go to the bathroom and like runs into that seat or grabs it. And I'm like, it wasn't me that time. But yeah,
I
don't
hate
fucking
when
go
people
back.
do that as we're
Don't go
boarding
back.
planes. Like, you don't need to touch the seat that I'm sitting in to haul yourself when nobody else is in the row. You don't need to haul my whole seat back to
Yeah.
get through it.
Don't fall asleep.
While somebody's boarding the plane?
Oh, well, if someone's boarding, everyone's going to fuck up your seat. You just got to wait.
Oh, I hate it. Don't touch
Just wait.
anything. Just nobody touch anything from here on out.
Yeah, I'll touch a seat. I'll do it. I love it. Anyway, should we dive into news?
There's been a lot. I'm exhausted from this week already.
Okay, go for it.
Well, are we going to go in chronological order or with
I
just
do,
the
I
biggest news
do you think I
out
give a
there?
shit?
Well, this is
Pick
our
whatever you want.
podcast.
Whatever your heart desires.
Well, let's go with the biggest then.
Great.
Vanderpump is, as we know it, no more.
So be it. Bless up. Be done.
Can I say something at the top of this? I'm
Sure.
annoyed that they kind of strung it along and then canceled it. Like, why not just do that when season 11 ended? It ended as if it was ending. We all thought it was. And then they were like, no, we just need to take some time.
Do you think they wanted to see how the cast would be like, if there would be any kind of reconciliation? Because I think if the women could have figured out their shit, they would have done a season 12 with the same cast.
But there's
But
also, I think the cast is a problem, but the amount of their salaries, like Bravo couldn't sustain it. So, and you always knew this was a thing. Like they were planning on canceling it after season 10, but then Scandival happened. Like their salaries just don't work. So they wanted to restart a new show to bump them back down into a new, salary bracket, I'll call it. Like the Valley people there's no way they're making, what they did on Vanderpump.
mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have been fine with it ending after season 11 because they made it as an ending, as you said. I think they were waiting to see if the women would reconcile.
And to be able to like
Like
tell that story.
if Lala would like become friends again with Sheena and Katie, and I think when that was apparent it wasn't gonna happen.
Brianna and Katie, but yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever I said. But
But thank you for thinking of Sheena.
I always think of Sheena. Oh, did I say her name? I love her so much. But I think then once that became apparent it wasn't gonna happen, then they had to come to a decision, right? They had to then be like, okay, are we going to move forward with like, let's say Katie and Ariana's story and then only do things about them? Or are we going to follow the Toms? Or like, how are we going to do this? Or are we going to recast? Like, I think
Yeah.
they were taking this time then to be like, what's our move?
Also, when we saw cameras at SUR in September, I think they were also waiting to fully pull the plug on old VPR cast until they saw the shoots from, I'm going to call it a pilot episode of this new cast to see like, will they work on camera? Because if you don't have a second option, you can't pull the plug on option one.
Yeah, probably. And I wonder how the cast fiend. Is Peter still a manager at SUR? Is he going to be there?
He is. And I wonder if
he's gonna be like he should be the Lisa Vanderpump of it all, because I'm over her coming through and being like, I have a new group of no. Have Vanderpump give Peter advice, and Peter's the new Vanderpump.
I like that.
Like Peter goes to Vanderpump when he's like, what'd you do in this situation? And we could even get flashbacks to be like, oh, well, when I had someone who cheated on their girlfriend with their best friend, and then she shows a clip and Peter's like, yeah, and then Peter goes back and deals with it. I would love that.
I commented on a TikTok video today from our page, and I said this same sentiment that I hope that they've learned from Southern Hospitality, like basically a new version of this same type of show. And I hope whatever learnings they've taken from Southern Hospitality, they have those, and all the downfall of like new Roni. I hope they're taking that and telling this new cast, Here's some things. Here's some pointers. Don't fuck this up.
Well, you just have to be real. You have to be who you are, and
It's not for
that's just
everybody.
it. That's how it's going to happen, even if you look like a shitty person.
I need them to have no shame. That's what was great about early Vanderpump.
I think that's the hard part is like with social media now, there's so much shame.
I
There's
know,
so much,
but
and they're not rich enough to not care. Like the house,
that's why they
like,
shouldn't care. They basically have nothing to lose.
yeah, but they want that. They want to build a following to be able to have something to lose. Whereas if you look at, like, let's just say Beverly Hills cast, they all have enough money and enough going on that even if the world hates them, they don't give a shit. They have a lot of stuff going for them.
Yeah.
It was similar. It's similar, I think, to how the Valley is, where like they don't give a shit. They have other stuff happening. Whereas these kids at Sir and like at Leva's fucking Place Republic, it's like, oh, we want to build this following. We want fans. We need people to like us. So we're gonna be careful. Or like
Yeah.
Roni when they're like, oh, we have to build a brand. No, be done with it.
Roni is so weird because the younger shows, it's like you're dumb enough to make the right mistakes for reality TV, whereas the Real Housewives, like they're just not going to make the same
They're not gonna cheat on each other
decisions.
with each other.
Yeah. And then it's the opposite when it comes to money. Like the settled people have money and just can say, like, I don't really care. But the new people want the money. So then that's what holds them back. Whereas, like
Yeah.
with Roni, it's like more so they're just not going to make bad decisions on
They're
camera.
also not friends. Like these
Yeah.
Vanderpump people actually have to hang out
Work.
outside of.
Well, they worked together already. Like people were working at Sir and not and thinking they weren't going to be on the show. So it kind of brings back that authenticity.
Yeah, so they have to actually like hang out amongst each other.
Yeah.
I can't have this new group being like, oh, I've never really hung out with them before, but I'm excited to try. No. No, you better have seen the inside of their bedroom because you hooked up with them twice already. Like,
And they will always have to come back together. Like you still have to show up for your shift at
for
work. That's
work.
something that OG Vanderpump, like they had no reason to get together or see each other. Like never forget that
Yeah.
season that Sheena had a hard time being Lala's friend because even at work, just being like copacetic in season 5 because Katie and the Mean Girls were so mad that she would breathe 2
Yeah.
words to Lala. Like we need that drama.
My God, season 1, Stassi wouldn't even let Sheena breathe in her direction. It was amazing.
Oh
It was
gosh.
amazing. So it's going to depend. I'm somewhat excited, although I'm cautious in the sense that I know these kids aren't going to do what I need them to do.
I think it's going to be better than what people's worst expectations will be, though.
Yeah, I think it'll be better than whatever that season was where they recast it in COVID.
Oh
I
my
think I
God.
think it'll be better than that. Although bring back Threesome Brett. Is he still at Sir?
That is the
Bring him
storyline
back.
we've never gotten.
Bring back Threesome Brett and Danica with her car, her blow
Ah,
car. Bring back Danica with the blow car.
the
Have
blow
Threesome
car.
Brett there. Yeah, that's amazing. I hope Sheena's okay.
I know. Well, there's a lot for we need to consider Sheena about not only the ending of Vanderpump Rules, but
I,
also,
I saw a tweet the other day, or not a tweet because I don't go on Twitter anymore because X is run by the worst first lady of all time. Anyway,
the
um,
worst first lady.
I call Elon Musk the first lady.
Oh my God.
It was something even not even remotely related to Sheena. It was something like, ugh, Dorit and PK are splitting up. I hope Sheena's okay. I was like, everything, anything and everything doesn't even have to do with her.
Well, on
I hope
the
Sheena's okay.
Schwartz and Sandy's closure announcement, all I saw, 90% of it was, how is Sheena
Same.
doing?
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to Sheena. I saw that too. I was cracking up.
I posted a tweet or a TikTok about this that I find it hilarious that both Schwartz and Sandy's and Vanderpump collapsed basically within the same day.
I know. What's Tom Schwartz going to do for money?
What's his mom going to do for retirement?
No, Tom Schwartz doesn't have
Oh,
money. Tom Sandoval has his band, so there's hope.
stop it right now. He was
There's hope.
funding that through his other businesses. He pays those people and they don't even really make money.
enough people went to his shows though. And I understand he wasn't making money, but if he keeps going, people are going to forget about the scandal and maybe like show up for a show or two and he'll
That's
get paid.
true. I also,
So,
I'm telling you now, I believe he will be on House of Villains season 3 because he's already done the World's Toughest Challenge, whatever that
the
is. He's on
special horses.
Traitors. Yes. He's on Traitors this
Oh,
season. He is
so
looking for
stupid.
any to scrounge any type of reality TV.
I don't even watch House of Villains. Is that watchable yet?
People said it was good this season. I haven't gotten into it. But I see it all the time on TikTok, and it looks kind of funny. These people yelling at each other. It's giving, at least from my like view, from the window I'm looking in, it's giving like old Real World houses where they just scream at each other.
No, it's giving Bad Girls Club, and that's what I'm
That
scared of. It's not even
yes,
giving Real World
that's
because
so
they
true.
don't sit around and talk about like important world issues.
And
It's Bad
they
Girls
don't like
Club.
go out. You're so
No,
right.
it's just Bad Girls Club,
That's so true.
which is terrible because some of these women are from Bad Girls Club. We'll see. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. It just the other season, I didn't care. I didn't understand winning the challenges.
I
Very little
know
made
the game
sense.
part of it wasn't for me.
Very little made sense for me. Okay, but RIP to Schwartz and Sandy's. You have until the end of the year to go get your I don't remember what they even sell there.
I have
Your
no idea.
custom cocktails? I don't know.
I mean, I heard it's always closed, so there's not much happening.
Does Greg regret his decision?
Yes.
Did you see Tom Sandoval's
Oh my
girlfriend's
gosh.
comment?
Yes. Do you want me to read aloud? I actually have a screenshot of it.
God. Yeah, if you want. I love a good cold read.
Because I thought this was telling, and also, why are we complaining in a post about your boyfriend's business closing? I don't know.
Mm.
She said, "I'm so proud of you. If only you were allowed to properly promote the place on the show as planned." I'm sorry.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I heard an. Do you want to talk Victoria? Because is that her name? Victoria?
Yes.
You want to talk Victoria? Because my ass had to sit through like 3 seasons of them trying the same food for the fucking restaurant that wouldn't open. I know enough about Schwartz and Sandy's. I know it's located in a strip mall somewhere. I know there's no sign. I could probably figure out exactly how to get there. Drop me in LA. I'll figure it out. I'll sniff it. I know exactly what's on the menu. I know exactly how it's designed. I know the bathroom mirrors. Don't come at me and say that it wasn't promoted on the fucking show.
That's the thing. Yes. Like you mentioned, she said, like, to have access to the shopping center sign. It just is a woe is me. Like, I deserve everything and everything should just happen the way I wanted to. Like, you don't have a right to promote your business on a television show.
She
And
obviously has never seen the show because I think for at least 3 seasons we held the closing like Vanderpump Rules party there and the opening Vanderpump Rules party there. We saw a full-on fucking divorce because of this bar. Like, you're
yeah.
gonna tell me I don't know about the bar? I
But
know about the bar.
why are we opening a business that will only have success if it's on a TV show? I don't think there's a huge difference between Jax's bar and Schwartz and Sandy's, but like I actually think Jax's, well, he was just given an offer, but like it's actually going to sustain itself because it's a real business outside of a TV show.
Yeah, it was barely on the Valley, honestly.
It's a business, it's a restaurant, and then basically he owns a room or like a sidebar in a
Yeah.
restaurant. And so
Yeah, but
and
him
same with
talking about it
Brits.
was barely on the show, and it
Yeah.
still is doing better than Schwartz and Sandy's ever
Yes.
did. And also, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe you didn't get as much time as you wanted, or like the sign in your strip mall or whatever. But maybe if you weren't a shitty ass person that cheated on your girlfriend of 10 years for us all to
That's
watch
what it
and took
is.
zero accountability,
Yes.
we would have went to Eaton there.
That's all just promotional stuff. And let's be honest, everybody who needed to know about the bar knew it existed for a long while. Like it not being put on the show shouldn't really have that much effect. The reason it failed is because we don't want to go and support you, Sandoval.
Like, if all the women would just, do you see how powerful we are? We could take down full bars. Because let's be honest, Bravo's fan base is mostly women, and we said we're not going to support this man, and now his bar is closing. So, do you see how much fucking power?
Look what we do when we unite together.
Number one movie was Barbie. Number one movie right now is Wicked. Do we want to talk about it? So please, please, Victoria, take your sad ass Instagram comment and shove it right back up your ass.
Also, I know you won't get this reference as much because you didn't watch
Oh, no.
OC right now, but like, why are we getting so involved, Victoria, about something that you weren't really ever a part of?
You were never on the show.
This is how Alexis Bellino is acting about Jesus Jugs is acting about Shannon Bedore's relationship with John. Stop getting so involved in something that you actually have nothing to do with.
Yeah, so goodbye. Anyway, I feel a little bad for Schwartz. I mean, I think he's a terrible person, don't get me wrong, but
he did work decently hard, I feel like.
Collateral damage. And like, if he owned it, I still would have went. Like, I would have been like, if I'm in LA, I'll like go.
Well, if they didn't take such a big space, like there were a lot of other business decisions they made poorly.
Yeah, but I would have went. If I was in LA, if I'm in LA before the end of the year, I'm not going to make it a priority for me to go to Schwartz and Sandy's. If it was just Schwartz's, I'd be like, maybe.
You know what would be genius for anybody who is having a 30th birthday is make it death to your 20s and have it there.
Death to them.
Death to them,
really
death to you.
Fucked up.
Well, we didn't know it was going to close. I would have, if we knew maybe 2 months in advance that this place was closing, I would be like, let's haul our ass to LA because I need to see this fucking place in person.
My 20s are already dead. Sorry, Schwartz and Sandy's.
So sorry. Literally throw some holy water on it.
No one should open a bar there next. It's death zone.
Honestly. Well, in happy news, Kristen Doty is pregnant.
I knew it. Didn't I say it on this podcast? It was a slip of the tongue, but I said it. I said, Kristen Doty's pregnant. And you said, what? I was like, yes. Yeah, isn't she? And you were like, she's engaged. And I was like, oh, that's what I meant. But see, I think Kristen and I were just,
you understand her.
I turned 30 and now I get her.
Hopefully you're not looking for some straws like she always is.
I bought a green. Oh my God. That's my least favorite thing about her. Whenever I do miss my straw, I put down my drink because I need to take a moment. Because I think of her and Sheena, obviously. But
always
take a moment. But I'm on my way to buy a green dress. I'm going to be just like her. I'm going to be Kristen Doty. And she is proof that everything can turn around.
That, you know what? She is proof that...
She is proof.
You can
that
grow.
You can have the whole... Here's for the new Vanderpump Rules cast. Everyone in the world could totally hate you for multiple things you've done. And we'll still love you in the end. We'll still pick you.
And for many, many things over many, many seasons.
And I'll still pick you, girly. I got you.
Oh my God.
Show me who you really are. Be your authentic self. Because she, if anything, is an icon now.
I was about to say, she's the epitome of, I may not like your actions, but I love you.
Yeah,
I love you out on this show. Like, I root for you. That is like the perfect, you are kind of the villain, but I ride for you so hard.
But never did I question if Kristen, like, wasn't being who she truly is.
No.
I was like, this is her, and I get it. And I respect it. She went to therapy and got better. I think removing herself, or she didn't remove herself, being removed from Vanderpump Rules was healthy. And now she's back and better than ever. And she was my favorite on The Valley. If we want to get real into it, she was amazing.
I loved her.
I was so Team Kristen. Oh, man. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Great.
Okay. Can we talk about something that came up at that Bravo Fest for our Summer House crew? Yes. Apparently, there is a threesome on Summer House this summer, and I want to know who you think it is.
Ooh, aren't there 2 new girls?
There's 2 new girls, 1 new boy.
Oh, there's a new boy too. What if it's just the 3 of them? No, I think Jesse Solomon is
that's
a culprit.
Who I think he could be involved. I think there has to be somebody who's not on the cast, just like a rando.
And then I think that girl Lexi that he's rumored to be dating.
That's my pick too.
Is he still rumored to be dating her?
I think so. People asked him if he's dating somebody at the Bravo Fan Fest, and he definitely played coy, being like, "Oh, you have to watch the season, but it could change at any minute, at any time. Like it could constantly
I
change."
could
So,
I could dump her ass if you guys like me enough, just like Wes did. I could do it. No, he would never. I like Jesse Sullivan.
me too.
Yeah, I have a feeling, without a doubt, Jesse Sullivan's involved. I have a feeling.
I
Just
I love it.
call it intuition. Call it a woman's intuition. But my dude Jesse Sullivan's getting super, and I bet it's 2 girls and a guy.
Oh
So that's
yeah,
my guess.
I love him for it.
But I would love to watch like Jesse Sullivan, West, and then a woman. I would eat it
Had
up.
the Wes and Sierra thing not blew up, I would have died to see that last summer.
Wow, the 3 of them?
Yeah.
Make an OnlyFans. I'd pay money. Holy shit. Woo! My girl.
I love Sierra so much. Why her and Jesse hanging out, I'm like shipping them as best friends.
Yeah, but also I want him to have a little crush on her, but be like, I can't do it because of my friend.
But then
what if
in 2 years, I want them to get together.
someone write a book about it? Like such a slow burn of like my best friend hurt her so badly, but then I started hanging out with her because I became friends with her, and then I kind of have a crush, but I can't make a move.
Yep.
And then I pick her over my best friend. I would eat it up.
I
I would
mean-
eat it. It's me eating it up.
Okay, my other news item is I have a question for you because you are Miss Dancing with the Stars expert. I know
Love
it's
it.
finale week. We're filming this
Blah.
before Alicia has watched the finale, but
Yes.
I saw this, I think this weekend, that there was some controversy with the judges. That is, her name's Cheryl Burke,
Yeah.
is annoyed that Derek is like head judge and like not calling critiques like he's supposed to. What's going on with that?
Yeah. Okay. So for a long time, the 3 judges were Bruno, Carrie Ann, and Len Goodman. And Len was head judge. And he was the harshest. He was like the Simon Cowell of it. He would call you out on literally everything. And he would get booed a lot, but he didn't care. He just didn't.
Good.
Len then, he was very old. He then, for I think a few seasons, remotely judged. So they had Derek come in.
Okay.
But then Len, I think 2 years ago, passed away. And so Derek took over as head judge, and Derek is very beloved and the fans really like him. I personally, this is a hot take, I think there's something so creepy about Derek and his sister Julianne. I think there's something I don't fucking trust about it. I don't know if it's because they're super Mormons, but I don't like them.
They're Mormon?
Yeah, half the cast is Mormon on Dancing
I knew
with the
like
Stars.
Riley, is that her name?
Yeah, Riley's Mormon.
And
half
that whole family is.
90% of the pros are from Utah.
Basically, any U.S. dancer is.
They're from Utah. If they're a ballroom
Utah
dancer, they're
Mormon.
from Utah. Yeah.
Okay, I know there were like Russians have a huge dancing community and stuff like that, but I did not know that Utah did.
Most of the stars are from Utah. Even if they're not Mormon, they all grew up in like the same Utah area. But
wild. Okay, keep going.
Anyway.
I'm tracking.
In
Weirdo Mormon siblings.
Anyway, yeah, they're weirdos. So, in previous years, the judges did a really good job of like trying to be nice, but also like calling out what needs to be called out, which is appreciative. Because me watching it as a fan, but that has some dance background, I notice when someone doesn't point a foot, okay? And I'm not sitting here going like, oh, it's super bad or called out, but like I notice these things. So I like when the judges confirm that I am smart in what I know. Anyway, but you're always booed. You're gonna get booed when you say stuff about a star that everyone loves, that then you critique them and you're gonna get booed. The judges this season, for some reason, have not enjoyed being booed. So
You're a judge. You're not supposed to be making any friends here.
So they haven't been giving the same critiques, which has bugged me and a lot of the other like people who have watched Dancing with the Stars for many years.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's the lore. Like, one of the judges, Carrie Ann, she's known as the lift police. If you do an illegal lift, she's going to call you out on it and she's going to say it was terrible. And she did it last week to one of the people and everyone was like, oh my God, how dare she? How dare she do that? And I was like, she's the lift police. That's what she
That's what
does.
she's known for. We're not here for participation prizes. We are here.
No.
This is a competition.
Yeah, fucking dance. So the problem though is
Dance for me.
Derek as head judge is supposed to be the one looking at technique, is supposed to be the one looking at steps, musicality, all of that. And he is like so scared to be booed that he's not fucking saying anything.
Then step aside. Then go be like a host like your sister.
Yes. He tells everyone, he's always like, oh, that was really good. You've really grown a lot. There were a few missteps, but overall, it was fantastic. And then you're
dive into the few missteps.
What the fuck? And the scoring has been all off because they were, again, so scared to like actually judge that from week 1, they've been giving 7s and 8s. So then by like mid-season when you should be earning your first 8, they moved down to 9s. And then they've been giving this 9s since mid-season, which were like, it's not even real. It's not even real this season.
Yeah, because you can't go higher than a 10, and obviously a 10 does mean something, clearly still to them.
So I'll bitch. The judges better pull it fucking together because stop worrying about being liked. Start worrying about actually the dances.
Yeah.
And to all the fans, shut the fuck up when they give a critique. Shut the actual fuck up. Stop booing. Stop roasting them on social media. If they did a bad job, let them be a bad job. Unless you're a professional ballroom dancer, shut your fucking mouth.
Well, I get that on the internet after the fact, like it's like kind of like having instant replay. So if you disagree, I understand having that discourse online, but the immediate reaction to it in studio shouldn't be happening.
You can't disagree. If they said you were off by a whole beat, oh, I disagree. No, you're off by a whole beat. You're off by a whole beat. That's
well, I'm saying watch the replay, and if it actually is an incorrect thing that they saw, fine, have that discourse.
But it's not. There's no way. They're not sitting there going, I just didn't like it. And you're like, oh, I disagree.
No.
It was straight up like, that was an illegal lift. And you can't be like, no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. It was
well, I'm sure in one instance, she's probably called something an illegal lift that maybe hasn't been. No, so if or when really it happens.
Good. They're really good judges. They've all been trained for how long? And Bruno and Carrie Ann have been doing this for 30-something seasons.
Yeah.
You think that they don't know?
Derek needs to get it together then. Because how are you head judge? Or they need to demote him out of head judge then.
Yeah, but Carrie Ann and Bruno don't want that.
Who do you think should be head judge?
I think they should get rid of Derek and they should bring Mark Vallis back from retirement and put him as head judge because he was a guest judge and he was absolutely fantastic and he did not care when he was booed. He said, look, I'm just trying to make them better. You can boo me. He was absolutely fantastic. I love Mark Vallis. He is one of my favorite pros ever. And Derek's creepy. I don't like Derek. This is going to get so hot because he's so beloved. I know he's so beloved.
Who cares?
There's something creepy about him and his sister, and I don't know what it is. And I don't like how close they are. It's one of those weirdo siblings relationships where I'm like, they're almost too close.
Do they kiss on the lips?
No, I don't know. Oh God, maybe that's the vibe they give me. They give me kiss.
They personify kiss on the lips.
They are. If you look up kiss on the lips, that's the picture.
Their faces in the book.
Families that kiss on the
kissing.
lips. And maybe it's because I don't touch my siblings ever, even for hugs. So the fact that they have danced together on TV and she's like in a bra and he's like grabbing her waist is like weird to me. I understand siblings dance together, not my siblings. I don't know what happens in Utah, but
not my family.
Let me tell you, in middle America, we barely hug.
I can barely get my whole family on a dance floor where we're just like bopping back and forth together.
My God. My dad used to, at weddings, if we're like at a family wedding, he'll be like, do you want to dance? And I'm like, that's weird. Like, it's so different. Oh Utah sucks. No, I don't know.
Utah sucks.
Everyone's in Utah now. I don't understand.
Anyway. All the shows have people from Utah. They've really just expanded like no other.
Anyway, the judges suck this season. Get it together. Anyway, yeah. Do you have any more news or is that it?
I just have one question for you. Little background. You may have seen this on TikTok. There's a girl out there who said that she was putting up out of office messages with little stories. and her boss told her that's super unprofessional. Nix these stories. Just say you're out of office and what dates.
What was the
And
story like? Was it like a random story, or was
random
it a story
meetup,
about her?
like
Oh,
it was like adventurous stories, but like
oh,
there was dedication behind it. And the boss was like, nobody, no offense, nobody cares. And this is like weird. So then she was like, okay, I'll cut out them being so adventurous. So she would like still put some little pizzazz in her out of office. And the manager was like, no, like cut all of it. Just put your out of office in the dates. And she came to TikTok and said, I feel like my creativity is being stifled and my personality is
no.
being stifled. And the internet's roasting her alive, being like, it's a job. Like he's told you to stop twice.
At first, I was with her, and I was like, "That's hilarious." If she had come onto TikTok and said, "I just want to leave stories," I'd be like, "No, I get it. Just leave your. I love that you want to do that." But for her to say my creativity is being stifled, that's a lot. What do you do?
I can't imagine my direct report doing this.
I would think it was funny, and then be like, "Could you stop?" And then if they're like,
Yeah, but like text doesn't always translate that way. Like my direct report once tried to put like a funny little joke in her out of office and it did not land. And I see how it didn't land. And I was like, I literally called her immediately and I was like, get online right now and remove that. Like, not
"No,
happening.
I get it. Just don't do it probably in the workplace." I fully understand that. I get it. Maybe just for like your team, you know how you could set up
Oh, the
certain out of a
inside? I love
that's
that.
that'd be funny too. But don't tell me your creativity is being stifled. You're no, 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 no. You're wrong on that.
Get like a
If
little
she had
forum.
presented it, you know how it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. She fucked
Uh,
up though with what she was saying here. She should have said, "I just thought it was funny," and I would have been like, "Yeah, hilarious."
yeah,
Your
yeah.
creativity, find a
I think
different
she
job.
said personality, but same.
Find a different job. Personality, God, even as the personality hire, I don't fucking do that. No,
No. I'm like, I'm out. Literally do not contact me.
do not
I'm
text.
not going to give you extra work. I'm not going to give you a whole story.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice you wanted to do that. Did you do that in company time? Because that sucks. Did you get, did you not get all your work done, but you did that? That's a little
I
crazy.
wonder if people have these stories saved. I would love for like reactions to come onto TikTok now of people reading them out loud because
Yeah,
are they good?
I I think it depends though. Like the company we worked at together, that would be funny if like within the company we sent an away
I was
message
about to
and
say
an away
only within the
email.
company though.
That would have been hilarious, but it's not funny if it's going to our clients. That would have been crazy.
I think they're going externally and that is the
That's
biggest
crazy.
problem.
That's crazy. In company would be really funny. We should go back to our old company because that would have been funny to do.
That would have been
I wish we had
hilarious,
thought about that.
especially Alicia if we were both out of office and the stories overlapped.
Oh my God. Mine would be like, please go see part two. And you'd be like, make sure you read
And then
part
you
one
like
first. And then yours
reach
was
out to
like,
Meredith for part 2.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or yours would say, I hope you got Alicia's message with part one before
If
reading
not,
this. Please email
go
now.
go find her.
That would have been, our company would have ate that up.
Oh my god! And then like imagine if we were out for like 3
Even the
days.
CEO would have ate that up.
He would have died. We would have gotten our little praise gift cards that we would get once a month over
Yeah, we
this.
get a shout out. The CFO would have found that absolutely hilarious.
I would actually, if we had done this, I would have changed it every day with this new part to the story. Like I would have really put our lunch breaks to
Same,
work.
I would have too. I would have been like, that's what we're doing, Meredith. It's happening. Even
Okay,
if you
I'm
know
on
what
our
would have
side
been,
now.
you know what would have been extra funny is if we were in office and we set that up as just an email every single day. And it's like, I'm not out of office, but as you wait for me to get back to you, please see the following story.
Can you imagine a little Christmas
That
story?
that would have been hilarious. But I'm still not on her side. Don't come at me and say my boss told me no, my creativity is stifled. Because if
Yeah,
our boss had said, please don't do that, we would have been
I would
like,
have
all right.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been like,
I would have been like, I would have put up a note in the little like snack bar that said, email me and I will send you
well, what
the
about my
story.
creativity, Tim? No, fuck
My
that.
manager, Dave, he would have immediately come first email and saying, cut that shit out.
Dave would have told on you. He would have told
Dave would have been
anyone.
like, you're having fun.
Jason,
Stop.
Meredith's having fun.
And then Allison would have been like, no, I loved this.
I would have been so funny. I would have loved it. I regrets. Oh, well.
The things we could have done.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
that is the end of my
Great
news. Thank you.
Great news. Should we get into reading? Book club.
Book club. Rant, rant, rant. Alicia's book club.
I don't have a lot. I'm still reading my Vampire Hunger Games series. I'm on the second book, but it's technically the third because there was a novella in between.
How was the novella?
Oh my God, lovely.
What's it called?
Lovely. So, my God, I don't know any of. I saved it. Okay, so the first book was The Serpents and the Wings of Night. The novella was 6 Scorched Roses.
Okay.
And the book I'm reading now is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. They're like longer, and then there's a third book that just came out.
Oh.
Which is called The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, which I have no idea what that's going to be about. So we'll see.
Okay, so without major spoilers, you finished the first book and that's when you were deciding if the love interest was bad or good.
Yeah, oh my God. Yes. And now I'm reading the second book and we're getting dual POV. So I'm getting his point of view too, which makes me think he's gonna I'm torn. I'm torn because he comes from the rebellion, which is always the side I root for.
Yes.
Which is the crazy that I'm living it in real life right now. But anyway, I always root for the rebellion, obviously, and he was part of the rebellion. But the rebellion really fucked up the main character who was part of like partly wanting to rebel, but she benefited from the patriarchy, let's say.
Yeah.
And then the rebellion took over, but now they're the patriarchy and she's now a prisoner, but he's in love with her.
Oh, and then the guy was like, no, I'm going to rape her and she's going to be mine.
He's trying to protect her.
Joking.
The rebellion wants, basically her dad was king, so they killed the king and now this new guy's king.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rebellion guy is king, and they want her dead because she's the daughter of the king, and he's like, no, I'm in love with her. But he hasn't said that. He's more like, no, I'll just make her my wife. And so they're married.
Death is too easy. I'll ruin her life.
They hate each other, but they have found a common enemy. So for the time being, they're going to work together, but she still hates him so much, but loves him. But it's because
didn't she overhear that stuff? And she doesn't know that he is like on her side or loves her?
No, she knows. He's told her. He's like, girly pop, I'm trying to keep you alive. Well, you kill your dad, someone murders your dad and then takes over your people and kills them all. You want to fight again. So now she's kind of the rebellion. I don't know.
This is complex.
I'm rooting for him. But they have, like I said, found a common enemy. So for the time being, they both have their sights set on someone else, which is good. But they still aren't really talking right now, but it's stressing me out.
But they're married?
Yeah. I mean, against her will. But yes, they are married.
Every bride's dream.
I mean, most brides that happens to happen. No, I'm just kidding. He did it to save her because it was either she gets married to him or she dies. So he was like,
he's like, no,
he's so in love with her.
He gets to protect her now too.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's getting weird. It's not in like weird. It's more like the things that are happening.
Not like Derek and his sister weird.
No, not Mormon weird. No, it's more like things are happening and it's weird and I don't know where it's going to go. I can't see the ending, which I like. So
I like this for you. I think this is really obscure. I don't think I'll ever read it, but I do enjoy when you tell me stories of the books that I probably won't read. Those are my favorite things to talk about.
Kind of crazy. Once I finish, maybe I'll give you a full rundown.
Please do.
But this was crazy.
And we can give a big spoiler announcement and really time that out.
Because I don't know how the novella really ties in.
Okay.
Either.
Did it still go in chronological order, the novella, or was it a jump in time?
The novella was a little bit like we went in the past a little bit and then it
Okay.
overlapped. And one of the characters from the novella has shown up in the new book, but he's kind of like a background character so far. He hasn't done anything.
Oh.
He just like showed up and I was like, "Oh, he's here." But see, the character in the novella is also part of this rebellion turned king. So I think this is the side I'm rooting for.
OG rebellions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The OG rebellion, the the rebellion turned king, not the king turned rebellion. Different.
Well,
So
the king did not turn rebellion because he died.
Yeah, he died. So I think I'm rooting for the people in charge now, which is a weird twist of fate because I never root for those people.
Well, you may start to hate them if they continue on the path that it seems like they're continuing.
But now that I get his POV, even when he does shitty things, I understand why he's doing it. You know?
But that doesn't mean it's okay to do shitty things. They're basically becoming what they hated.
I just need her to like, I understand your dad died and I'm respectful of that, but like,
hey,
you gotta start fighting, girl. We gotta start using your brain. You can't keep fighting with your emotions. Start using with your thoughts.
Yeah. Box those emotions up and come back to them later.
Start joining the side. I don't care if you take him down or not, but like, stop being mad. Yeah, you gotta work with him now. You got a common enemy. Let's take care of that enemy and then go kill him. It's just it's very complex right now.
That makes sense.
But I love when they still like have longing stares and she's like, I hate him. But like her POV is so weird though, because she's like, he touched my hand and though I wanted to like take it, like grab it back, I didn't because there was a spark, ... And you're like, just say you like him still. And then he's like, I longingly looked at her because I'm in love with her still. And I'm like, you all are a goddamn mess.
Oh, God.
Anyway, are you reading anything?
I gave up on my my city book because it's just too dense and I have to return it. I'm going to just probably rent it like 3 more times to get through it later on. Okay. So I've moved on to a book called The Vanishing Half.
Oh, I love that book.
Did you read it? My friend recommended it to me. Yeah. And I was at
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So I liked it.
Oh, good. I was at a used bookstore and got it. And I was just like, I want to build up my book collection, but it's constantly that questioning of, do I need another book? I have so many books I need to read, but like this story sounds so good. So I was like, I'm in. It was $6. Like
this is the one about twins, right?
Yes. Yeah. For anybody who hasn't heard about it, it's about twins who leave their town and then they get split up. And that's where I'll leave it because obviously I'm not too far in the story and I never want to spoil it, but that's basically what the book cover is about.
I mean, it's not just about it's about like.
Well, I know. Well, like it is more nuanced, but just from a very high level because I'm like 20 pages in, so I don't have any thoughts on it.
It's a good book because it's about African American twins that get split up who are white passing, so it's interesting.
Yes, so one's on the West Coast, right? Is that where she is?
I don't think it matters that much.
Okay. Yeah, and she's like white passing, and the other goes. And,
they're both white passing.
Well, but she chooses is like living as a white person.
Yes, one chooses to live as a white person. One chooses to
marries
live as a black woman.
Yeah,
so it's very different.
And their town is all about getting as white as possible, which is like weird.
But still being African American. Because they claim that. They're still like, no, we're African American, but they just want to be as light as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Honestly, the like lead up to the story was like just wild on its own. I was like, that's like hard to wrap your brain around.
Yeah, it's crazy because like in society, lighter skinned people are, societal beauty standards, unfortunately, are seen as like more desired, beautiful, quotes, whatever. So that's what the town like wants, but they still want to like they are still black.
They still have their identity.
They keep their identity, but they want to like run from it as well. It's very interesting.
Yes, it's something that's very interesting for me as a white woman to like read about because I've never had that experience, obviously. And so what I really like in general about reading books on a high level, but especially ones about African American stories, is it just gives me such a different viewpoint. And like you
Yeah.
actually get it through the right lens. It's not just me coming up with this. It's me just simply consuming what is given to me.
Yeah.
And like I can't inject my own thoughts and opinions and change things. Like it's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
And so it just makes me sit there and think about it constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
like
a
the
very
twin
good book.
aspect because you kind of get two versions of it
Yeah.
then.
Very
Yeah.
good book for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to finish it. I'll
Excited
probably
for
finish
you.
it over Thanksgiving weekend.
Ooh, excited for
Yes.
you.
Yep.
Okay, should we go into what we're watching?
I'm in. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'll start with Bravo and then go not Bravo.
I
Um,
have no Bravo, by the way.
oh, great. I'll just hit my 3 Bravo shows I watched real quick. I've been catching up on Below Deck. I love Below Deck. I'm
What
sad.
like season / franchise?
I didn't watch the new Med or regular Below Decks.
Okay.
So I'm catching up on those. So I finished regular Below Deck and I'm on to Below Deck Med. I'm finishing that up. Very good. Aisha's back with Captain Sandy. And this is the first season, may I say, Captain Sandy did not annoy me. She is so good.
Really?
Um,
Do you think
and
it's
then
because of her close relationship with Aisha?
no, I think Captain Sandy is just like
Not
tolerable.
doing anything to annoy
She's just
you?
tolerable. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but she is just more tolerable. And then Below Deck Sailing just started a new season, which I'm going to watch after, because then I think there's a new Below Deck Down Under coming through, which I'm also excited
Mm,
about. I just love. I've decided if I ever am rich enough to get a yacht, I would do the sailing one because I think that would be more fun.
okay.
For no reason other than we would get to sail. And I
Okay.
also think that crew is the messiest. So I think there'd be a lot of issues I would get to watch.
Yeah, but I feel like they always do a good job of keeping it away from the guests.
Below Deck Sailing is pretty messy. They usually are like, you're like, come on, you guys, it's too close to the guests. So
Oh
I would
my
enjoy
God.
that aspect. Plus, I've decided I would bring my family and then I would write their preference sheets just to be funny
Just to
to
like
make
fuck
sure.
with the crew?
Well, no, to make sure I told the crew like really what's gonna happen. Like on my dad's, I would be
Oh.
like, we'll eat anything, but we'll probably bug the captain and want to see how he drives the boat and maybe ask to help with lines because
Oh,
that's my dad.
I see what
My
you're
dad would want to
saying.
help with the sails, so
Wait,
beware.
what would your mom say?
She's not gonna on purpose be difficult, but she might be a little difficult. She doesn't like to try new foods, so
Yeah.
that might be it. She's also really fucking chatty. So she's gonna ask a lot of questions about you, about anything.
What about your sister?
Won't eat anything she's not comfortable with, probably won't eat things she is comfortable with
Stick
because
to
she
the
eats like a
preference sheet.
bird. Yeah. She will probably just lay around and sleep most of the time. She's not dead. She's just asleep. And then
Wait, that's so funny to think about.
my brother would be like, would eat anything. Loves to swim, but don't think he's dead if because my brother likes to swim and just like puts his head in and then he just floats for a little bit and you think he's dead, but then he comes up for air.
Don't think he's dead.
Don't think he's dead. That's just what he's
It's
doing.
his bit.
So if you could find like a body of water where he won't float away in, that he could just do that for a few hours, lovely. Also, so klutzy, might fall off ship. Don't worry. We're prepared for it. But also he can swim, so if he does fall, we're
Yeah.
good.
He just
We'll get
may
him.
put his head in the
Like
water
he
for a
doesn't
bit.
always need to do a life jacket, but if you
Makes
see
sense.
him wobble when we're sailing, that he's gonna
Grab
fall
him.
over. He'll fall, don't worry.
Throw the life ring.
And then me, I would be like, we're always gonna eat seafood. I love to drink, so I'm gonna have fun by myself.
Load it up.
Woo, it's just gonna be me.
All the lobster and expensive booze.
I'm a millennial, so I literally won't complain about anything. But what I do ask is that you don't have a ton of dairy because we're going to be on a ship, and I
Makes
just feel like that's
sense.
a bad place to be lactose intolerant.
Do they sail in like the Mediterranean? Where are they docking?
This season they're in Ibiza.
Mm.
But they've done like Fiji before, I think, like that area.
Okay.
Yeah. They're kind of around like the same. They usually do
Wait,
like a
I love that
Fiji-ish, I think.
preference sheet thing. My dad
Yeah.
will literally say he wants everything out of a bowl. He loves eating out of bowls. Bowls
There you go.
only, don't plate it. And my
Yeah.
mom's would be like, write down every sauce. She's going to want to know the recipe.
No. No. My mom, I'd be like warning to chef. My mom will just sit there and start talking to you. Like, but that would be, hey, can I come to the crew? What's happening? No, mom, go away. So I find it funny and I just want to make enough money to get like a 3-day trip for my family and be like, let's see
That
what
would be
happens.
so great.
So then I would literally be like, crew has to come up with games or something because my family wants to hang out with you. And my dad wants the captain at dinner each night. He has so
Oh,
many
yeah, yeah.
questions.
My family would
So
want
many
to
questions.
too.
I could see my dad being like, "Hey, can I help put up the sails?" And the captain would be like, "No." Because if you get hurt, it's a liability. And my dad would be like,
Yes.
"No, no." I had a boat growing up. And he'd be like, "No."
Not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Yeah, so that.
Jeez.
I also watched Beverly Hills in my time off.
Ooh.
Um, so to start, I would like to say it's so I've done a big deep dive on Kyle Richards and her fucking issues. I don't like Kyle. That being said, it's interesting that Dorit feels when she does something wrong, Kyle just cuts her off because that's what Kathy and Kim do to her.
To Kyle?
Kyle's a very toxic fucking person. But she grew up in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen it. Kyle has gone years without talking to Kathy. And it's because Kathy was mad at her. And Kyle doesn't want to upset Kathy because then she won't talk to Kathy. So that's what she does to Dorit. When Dorit upsets her, instead of talking about it, she just cuts Dorit off. And Dorit's like, that's not okay with me, though. Just because that's your family fucking thing doesn't mean it should
Yeah.
be
And
mine.
I think Dorit and Kyle are very close because they've been doing this show together for so long that Kyle is treating not only
Dorit like a
in
sister.
the anger, but yeah, I think they have become like sisters, even if Kyle wants to minimize the relationship right now.
Yeah, I didn't like this whole Kyle was like, Dorit and I aren't even that close. I was like, no, don't even give it. What was it? The Fox Four
Force five.
Force 5. Oh, those 5? Don't even get me fucking
That's the
started.
thing. Listen, you can tell me, like, yes, there are relationships outside of these shows that you're probably closer with those girlfriends than like the show girlfriends. That goes with every cast. But you
Yeah.
cannot tell me that she is trying to make your relationship something that it's not.
Yeah. And then Kyle was like, "Oh, it hurt me that like cuz like at BravoCon, Dorit was asked to rank the 3 Richard sisters
Oh
from
my
favorite to least
God.
favorite, and she was gonna take the shot instead of ranking, and then Kyle like grabbed her arm and the shot spilled on her, and Dorit jokingly was like, "Well, Kyle's last and Kathy's first," and Kyle's mad about that.
That's insane to me. I have friends that I'm friends with 3 sisters, and I went to college with one of them, and
Mhm.
I have gotten way closer to her, like the middle sister, because we live in the same city right now. And I would take the shot if somebody asked me, because I'd be like, in theory, over time, I've been closer to one, but I just have a different relationship with the other. Like, that's just diplomatic to take the shot.
Yeah, so the fact that Kyle then spilled on her and Dorit was like, "Well, Kyle's not last now." I thought it
That
was a
was a
joke.
joke.
Kyle's
And it was funny. I don't think Dorit's that funny that often, but
that was funny. I was laughing. Yeah.
yeah,
Um. Also at BravoCon, hilarious that Erica was the one that said PK and Dorit's marriage is on the rocks and
I
look what
have always felt
happened.
like their
Boop, boop.
relationship was not great.
I want to know if PK is going to hit up Lisa Vanderpump since they were friends.
Yep, yep.
Is Kyle still with that Morgan girl?
It's hard to know. I haven't stayed like finger on the pulse too much on this subject, but I remember at the end of Beverly Hills last season after the reunion, when it was airing, I think there was a like unfollowing of each other, but then they were seen together later. It was just weird. They're not as close as they used to be, I don't think, but there just really isn't much discussion about it that I've seen or kept up with.
Fair.
But you
Okay,
can't take
last news.
Morgan's name back after you already A, put it out there, and B, had her on the show.
Yeah, no,
That's
really.
no.
And she's the reason we're all speculating your marriage fell apart. So, you know, I think it was a
I
lot of
don't
things,
think
but
it
this
was
was the
fully that.
catalyst.
But that was why people started to speculate more on it, I would
Yep.
say.
So, 'twas what it was. Last few thoughts. It was really weird seeing Garcelle's son Oliver on the screen because all I think about is Raquel.
Oh,
Sorry
I think
about that,
about
Garcelle.
his or his wife talking about how he was cheating or something.
But yeah, wasn't that with Raquel?
Yeah.
Rachel? I love that Kathy and Dorit are friends.
I want them to be best friends. I wanted to piss
I
Kyle off so much.
Same. I don't know what it is about Kyle, but I hate her. And then I liked that PK and Mo got together.
Me too.
That was fun.
And they were in Miami with the Summer House crew while Kyle was DJing like 2 weeks ago.
Were they?
Yeah. But it was like
Oh,
a
all right.
whole boys trip, Dorit said. There were like 10 guys in Mauricio and PK's group.
I want Mauricio and Dorit to get together so badly. I want it so bad. Anyway, I also started Salt Lake City. I haven't finished, obviously. I'm only like an episode and a half in, but I really like Mary and Angie's friendship
Me
like a
too.
lot.
I think I
And I
think Angie walks on eggshells around Mary, but doesn't everybody basically have to? But
yeah,
I don't mind it.
I kind of like it. I like that Mary doesn't seem to love Angie if you were to just take what her words at face value,
Agreed.
but this is the nicest she ever is to anyone.
Right?
So, like she's like Angie, you know, she's there. She tries really hard. And I'm
She's
like,
working
"Wow,
so
Mary.
hard.
I love that." And then I like the new girl who's I think dating like a really old guy. She was wearing the heart
Oh,
sweater at the opening
Bronwyn. She's
party.
married to him.
Bronwyn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like her. I think there's a lot of new people I can't keep track of. And I really enjoyed everyone ganging up on Whitney at Lisa Barlow's party. That was really fun for me. Because I
Uh,
love Lisa Barlow and I love Jack in Columbia drinking coffee and finding Michelin star restaurants. I support that. I
okay,
love Lisa Barlow.
Lisa Barlow, speaking, because we talked about Kristen, is kind of like Kristen for me, where I don't love everything about her, but I love watching everything about
You
her.
know what you're gonna get. It's Lisa Barlow, baby. You're gonna get
Like,
Wendy's and you're gonna get yelled at probably.
I think Lisa is harsh, but I do think people don't understand her. But I would hate to have Lisa as my friend. I just don't think we would jive well. But boy, does she entertain me.
Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with Lisa. And I like that her and Heather are friends, and I like that her and Meredith are back on good terms. And I like that Mary just sits there and doesn't want to eat the big steak because you got to think about your colon. It's so these women aren't real.
No,
No.
they have money and no shame.
Yeah,
Like
they're
they're not
amazing.
worried about losing their
This is what
money,
we need. It was
and they
so
are not worried about being too mature to do shit.
oh, they're so good. And then last, just to round it all out, I watched the show Bad Sisters on Apple.
Oh,
It's really good, and season 2 is coming out now. They're releasing once a week. I understand because I would binge the fuck out of it. It's about, if you've never seen it, which
no,
I
I haven't.
totally I recommend. It is an Irish show about there's 5 sisters, and one of the sisters is married to this really terrible man. They don't even try and hide that he's terrible. He's the worst. And the sisters are like, we need to get rid of him. Let's try and kill him.
Oh God.
And they just keep fucking it up though, because he's like a cockroach. But it's like kind of dark funny, but it's funny. But it's also like really just great acting. Everyone in it's amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend if you have Apple.
I've heard people describe Apple shows like that. They don't get a lot of promo, but people love it because they don't want them to be flashes in a pan. Like it's actually
Yeah.
good acting, good script writing, good production. It's what TV used to be, not just like burning
Yeah.
and churning out whatever you can.
It's almost like a mystery too, because like the opening scene is that he's dead. And you're like, how'd he die? And then you see everyone trying to kill him, and you're like, no, but what actually did it?
What
It
did
was
it?
so good. I didn't see the ending coming, and now there's another mystery happening. Oh my god, it's so
Is it the same
good.
cast and just
Same
different
cast,
mystery?
same cast,
Okay.
different mystery. But the sisters are so good. First of all, you know I love an accent. So Irish people so much fun to watch, and their Irish slang. But
God.
it's just they're all such good actors, and the sisters have such chemistry. And the woman who wrote it also stars in it and directs it. So she like got to pick everything and she writes it. So it's very near and dear to her heart. It's
I actually
so
love when people
good.
do that. I feel like you get so intimately involved in the production that
Yeah.
it actually benefits it more.
And this woman, oh, her last name escapes me and I don't want to say it wrong because she's Irish, but it's Sharon something. Sharon H or something. I'm not going to get it right. But Sharon Horgan. Ugh, I hope there's no accent on that. Sharon Horgan.
There's
She's the
definitely an accent
creator.
on it, but you could never do it
Horgan.
justice.
She's the main character. She's the one that did, all the writing and stuff. She didn't
Mhm.
get her big break until she was 38.
I love
38.
I love hearing stories like
And
that.
she was talking to Chelsea Handler about it. And she's like, literally, I didn't do anything in my 20s. I wasn't making it. She's like, my big break was until I was 38. And now I have this show. And she's like in her 40s and she's killing it.
I love
40s,
that.
50. I don't even know, but she's so good. And it's an ensemble cast of women. It's
30s is going to be our is it decade? Yeah,
yeah.
decade.
Yeah.
I got really stressed if decade was 100 years or 10. I blinked out on any logic there.
No, that's okay. So yeah, really good. Everyone watch Bad Sisters. Season or episode 4 comes out Wednesday. So
I love that. I have to tell you about Survivor this
okay.
season. I know at the start of the Survivor season, I listed off who was on my draft board with my
Oh yeah,
friends.
yeah,
So I'll get to those people later who I have left because I'm getting real anxious about it as we head to the end of the season. But this isn't up to date for anybody listening and watching Survivor. This is not up to date with this week's episode. But Alicia, have you been watching any New Age Survivor? Or
no.
have you seen any? Okay, well, if you don't know, New Age Survivor started in like 2020 because of COVID, like them
Mhm.
producing it, they changed it. So it used to be 39 days and now it's 26 and it's a lot
Okay.
harsher on their bodies. They just like pressurized it a lot more, which is interesting a little bit, but it is getting a little stale because after a while you're like, okay, at the beginning when they're in different tribes, they're in 3 tribes of 6 people. Every time you lose a immunity challenge, you lose your flint, so like you can't
Mhm.
clean your water, you can't cook any food, and just one tribe always deteriorates very quickly. And typically the first half is pretty boring because of that.
Mhm.
Like one tribe just gets down to 2 people and they finally have to merge. This season, it actually wasn't like that. It was a pretty fair fight amongst them. Like each tribe like
Okay.
lost people, so it was very interesting at the beginning. And the personalities shone through a lot at the beginning. They do a really good job of highlighting people every episode. And
Okay.
so this I loved the first half of this season, but ever since they merged, it is quite miserable. And I'm just stressed for my own people. But I have to highlight this one guy who I actually despise, but it was so fascinating to watch. This guy's name was RHOBH. He is an announcer for like esports, and so he does a really good job of like narrating the season from his little diary sessions. And he just was a huge personality. Just thought he was the greatest person in the world too, which hate and love and ego on shows like this because you love to be like have them knocked off their pedestal.
Mhm.
But people just placated him on his 6-person tribe at the beginning. He quickly found an idol. And so, like, you couldn't really target him. And so people just kind of clung to him in order to not be the one sent home, obviously. And so his ego kept inflating. And he got to that point where he was like, I'm running this game. And when they merge, they typically merge, have a competition, and then somebody will go home, but they haven't officially merged and gotten their new buffs until after the tribal council.
Okay.
And so you get the feeling of a merge without being merged. And we all know that if you don't make the merge, like you are just a subpar player.
Yeah.
So this guy Rome, he's talking a big game, just thinks he is the best and the brightest, and they send him home. And Alicia, it was just like
Right before the
glorious.
merge?
Yes.
Oh.
And the night he gets sent home when they go to tribal council, Jeff was like talking to them, obviously, and then Rome was like explaining, something about the game. And Jeff was like, why don't you just come take my seat and why don't you just like try on my spot for a while?
Oof.
So he goes and he like does this whole thing where he's kind of talking down to the other tribe members and he's like explaining something. And he is accurate about it. I will give him that. But you
Yeah.
like he was never thinking about the socialness of the game.
Yeah.
And then he gets sent home. And it was perfection.
Damn.
It was so
So you're
good.
happy about this?
So happy. The second half has been kind of boring. Just the new era, the game is agitated a lot more, so people don't really stick together in their original tribes. You're just constantly making
Okay.
new alliances every single day to figure out who we're going to vote out next. And it's constantly shape shifting on who's on the top, who's on the bottom, which is good if you are a player, but it's hard to predict what's going on or like root for someone because you don't really see like tight alliances form and you're not rooting
Yeah.
for like a subset anymore. People love to turn on each other, even if they've been writing for each other the entire game. It's just hard to root for somebody.
So do you like the new age
I hate it.
Survivor? I was gonna say I know old Survivor, and that
Yeah.
was just so fun.
It it keeps you entertained in the fact that like you want to go back for next week, but I don't have
Yeah.
players like I'm obsessed with anymore like I used
Oh,
to.
yeah.
And right now in my draft board, I have 3 people left. Again, this is not based on this week. I will cry if one of them goes home, but it's this girl, Teeny. She's like a social butterfly, but she has really lost her like special razzle dazzle in the merge. She's just gotten like lost in the shuffle and is not leading anything. So I'm really
Mhm.
concerned about her. This girl, Caroline, she definitely is leading some stuff, but I need her to keep her head a little small because every time somebody does something big, it's like a balloon expands and they're the next immediate target. So you have to be like a low
Ooh,
key threat in this new
yeah.
era. So I need Caroline to chill. And then I have this guy, Sam, who is an obvious kind of like physical threat. But New Age Survivor, like you don't fully have those people anymore. There's another guy, Kyle, who is actually doing way better at competition. So he's the actual threat. And Sam is just being constantly left out of votes. So he might snake by, but I don't think any of my people can win because nobody's doing anything, but nobody's doing anything in the whole cast.
Question, do you actually like your people, or is it just because you have them on your team?
A little bit of both. I really liked my girl Teeny. I thought she's like us, like we would be friends.
Okay.
And so I'm really sad she's not doing great because that's why I would love to win out of my 3.
Okay.
Sam, I don't give a shit about.
Are there people you haven't drafted that you're like, I really like them as a player, though?
Yes, there's one guy who fucked up at the beginning and like had a mental breakdown
Oh.
and but got his shit together finally and is like doing pretty good, but he's flying too close to the sun. I think he's doing too much and I'm like, Andy, be
Mm.
chill, be chill.
Yeah, hard.
So
Okay.
I like the story arc of people,
Yeah.
but there's not as many people to truly like be like you are playing the game. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are just globbing on to whatever somebody else decided and it's like a snowball rather than somebody like leading the charge or even a few people truly
Yeah.
leading the charge.
Damn. That's hard.
Yeah.
I hate that all these games have changed because as a kid, I got to know every game. And then
I
I'm like,
know.
wait, stop.
They're
Stop
supposed to be
changing.
doing an all-star season for season 50. We're in 47 now.
Ooh.
And I just don't know who they'll pick for that because I think they should pick not necessarily all new age because that's too short of a time, but
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want them to go
Back
like
to the oldies. Oldies.
yeah, like
Like
they did
Boston Rob
winners.
has had his time. He shouldn't.
Yeah. And they did winners
Sandra.
at war where they did all winners. And this was a
Mhm.
COVID season, or like it aired during COVID, but was filmed beforehand. And it's like, okay, that I think helped us bridge into the new era with the oldies but
With the
goodies.
oldies, yeah.
But let's try and stay in the last like 20 seasons, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So let's all
Well,
root for
I'll
my team.
at least a lot of our survivor people go to the traders, so they're not a loss.
That's the thing.
Shout out
I get them
Sandra.
elsewhere. Get them elsewhere. We've got a lot of Big Brother and Survivor people helping bring that strategy to traders, and then we get the Bravo people bringing the personality, which is like this is my dream.
Bringing nothing to be honest. No. No, they bring fun. It's fun.
They bring
But
fashion
I
and
need the
not my
strategy.
burgerlicious.
The problem being, if I'm in traders, I know who to go for. Like
Who
I
would you
know
go
you're
for?
No. Like I know you're dangerous based off your show. I'm gonna keep all the
Oh,
Bravo and Bachelorette people because like I'll figure them out.
yeah,
But
but Peter
fucking
was a really good strategic person. He was a dark threat there.
Peter was obnoxious. That guy, nah. Sandra had him right where she wanted him. No. But like you're gonna tell me to trust Dan Giesling? Try again.
Here's the thing.
Try
We've
again.
talked about this. You got to go in and realize not all the faithfuls are making it to the end. So you got to
Yeah.
find the people who, whether they're faithful or traitors. I mean, it is good to try and suss out traitors for
Yeah.
sure,
You
but
just don't want to seem like a traitor and you'll be safe.
yes, and you don't want to clock the traitors out loud.
No.
So you need to find the people you're going to ride with and say, "Hey, not all us faithfuls can make it to the end. Let's ride for each other." And midway through, then we can like make sure we're really taking some
Yeah.
shots at some
You want to
traitors.
sit in the middle. You want to not do too much. You want to just seem as faithful as possible.
You basically want to help the traitors kind of at the beginning. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. But I'd also bandwagon. If everyone's like, we're going for that person, I'm like, yeah, fuck
Yes.
them. They were looking suspicious. Which maybe they were. I don't
Man, I
know. I'm
can't wait
just,
for the next season of Traitors.
I like the gameplay.
We're going to have to, before it starts, in one of our also episodes, I want us to decide who we think the traitors are.
But isn't it random?
No,
Or does the show pick?
the show picks.
Oh.
That would
Yeah,
be
we have to go through
wild
the
if it was
cast.
random.
Maybe we'll do that as a bonus episode where we go through the cast.
Ooh, I
'Cause
like that
I
idea.
don't even know the full I mean, I do, but I forget.
I'll prepare it. I'll put
Great.
like a slideshow together for us.
You don't have to. You could just tell me like you did last time and
Yeah,
I'll
but
go,
the pictures are
"Oh,
so cute. We got to
oh
use
my god."
those.
All right. Are you watching anything else or listening to anything?
Not really. I've just seen some TikTok videos, and you sent me one for sure. I think the One Tree Hill one about the background characters of One Tree Hill and the Vampire
Oh
Diaries.
my god, I could talk about this forever, mainly for Vampire Diaries. I was cracking up at the one you
Oh
sent
my
where they're like,
god.
"Did you hear Vicky's out cuz she got an animal tag again?" And then it
Animal
was like, "Have
attack.
you ever seen one of these wild animals?" And they're like, "No, because I'm still alive." And I was like, "Oh my
I'm like, I'm glad you're
god."
tracking that. That like the minute the animal is around you.
The One Tree Hill one cracked me up though too, because it was like, "Oh, have you seen Peyton? We're in," or like, "Oh, my partner was Peyton for this project. She's not here because her fake brother tried to kill her."
I
And then
love
like,
that.
"Oh, Nathan and Haley are busy getting pregnant." Oh,
No, Haley's out because she's on tour. She's not coming
he's on
back.
tour.
We're raising money for
Nathan's
Nathan's rent
depressed.
though.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Like, it's all so crazy. Oh, Lucas is out because he had his heart condition. He's in the hospital right now. His uncle then died in the school shooting, remember? So he's taking some days off. Like, it's so give me a show from you know how I told you about that book where it was about the in a Hallmark movie, like everyone dumps their mean city girlfriend
Yeah.
for the nice city girl. And the book was from the point of view of the mean city girlfriend who like wasn't she was just a woman trying to fucking live her life. That's what I need is a show, but from the background character's point of view.
Maybe
Like
we need to start watching the shows.
someone redo One Tree Hill.
No, this guy's I need him to do a more in-depth series and go episode by episode.
Episode by episode. Yeah. Because it you couldn't do a full
Oh,
hour.
and I did write his name because I'm trying to get better at giving people credit.
Of
On
course.
TikTok, he's Kevin Michael Brennan. So
And he's absolutely on point. I would love to see a good Gossip Girl one too, like at the parties. Where you're like,
yes.
God, she just outed Eric Vanderwoodson as gay. That's crazy. And someone else is like, oh, well, I knew. And you're like, oh, did you?
The
Like,
mom being like, why doesn't Serena like put a brush through her hair? She looks a little
yeah.
disheveled.
Sabrina smells kind of bad today, doesn't she? She looks like it. Blair pushed another girl down the stairs. Glad it wasn't me. Yeah, like
The
just
PTA meeting, whenever that one girl's they put Nair in Laura Lee's hair.
oh, PTA meeting. That was at a bar.
No, I mean like the parents being like, I am
Oh,
just very concerned about my daughter's
yeah.
hair.
My daughter came back with a bald spot. What's up with that? We just moved here from Kansas. The fuck? Like, just, it would be so funny. That one, though, sees another one. Oh,
Oh
why is Marissa
God.
out of school? Oh, she shot her boyfriend's brother. Whoops. And then she
Whoops.
died in a car crash. Like, it would be, you would do the Outer Banks kids. The fuck are they
Oh
going?
my God.
John B's back from the dead. What? We saw him die in that boat, didn't we?
The mailman
I
like
would
shows
love
up
it.
at the house they just built in season
Oh my
whatever this
God.
what just was and is like, I can now
I would
deliver mail again here. Like you guys are back.
I would love one parent to run into them at a store and be like, "Aren't you guys supposed to be in school?"
I want a random town parent to run into Key's parents and be like, the fuck is going on with your daughter? And they're like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I've been to 12 funerals for your kid. Is she good? And they're like, "Oh, we lost her again because she won't listen." Key's my number
No,
one. Just
she's
like
totally fine. She was just on a random island for a little
she
while
ran
there.
away to Bermuda. Oh, good. Okay. Like, it is so funny to think about the background characters. Oh, Nathan's dad shot his brother. That's crazy. Just a kid. Mom, guess what? Guess what happened at school today?
Guess what I
Lucas
heard?
passed out. No, because it was stupid. I'm trying to think of literally anything else. Some guy named Chris Keller showed up and did a free concert and then kissed
Wait,
Haley, who's dating Nathan.
did you know the actor of Chris Keller dated Bethany Joy Lenz?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mhm. They went
Like
on tour for real together.
I did know that. But I saw on E News he was like, because it's everything about their past is kind of being drug up with her
Yeah.
book, and he was like, "Yeah, it was weird to be broken up with a cult," and I was like,
Yeah.
"You guys dated?"
She was in a cult. Yeah. Yeah, but just imagine like that one guy's in the record store when Haley and Nathan are fighting,
Oh my
and
God.
you're just like, or when they start dating, and so one of the fellow nerds in the tutoring center is just
It's like,
like,
what's going on with
she's
this?
dating Nathan, the hot guy?
Give
What
me
about
more of
Nathan?
the guy that Nathan worked with at the pretzel stand.
Yeah, that guy. He's like,
He's like, Nathan didn't show up for his shift.
Nathan left me again, single-handedly at the pretzel shop. I can never rewatch these shows because I don't know why it hit so hard with I think Vampire Diaries hit hard because they were friends with their teacher and I was like, does no one else
Think this is
sound
weird.
the alarm with that one a little bit? No. And then they were always like showing up with scarves and like bleeding. I
That's
was like,
true. It was a little bit more pronounced, the like sidebar storyline.
yeah, are
That
you
should be
good? That
noticed.
one guy has fangs.
Like,
What?
yeah, and the eyes, like Caroline's eyes looked really weird with those veins yesterday. Is she okay?
My God, I would. Hey, did you see Elena's dating her ex's brother? And she's like 17,
And he's like 34.
supposedly. And he's his guardian. He's the guardian of. He owns a whole house. Stefan lives alone?
That's what's the most
That's
unbelievable. They own
weird.
a mansion.
They own a mansion, and Stefan lived alone for a little bit. That was weird. God, Caroline. See, Caroline's dad being gay wasn't even a scandal after a while.
Nope. We got way bigger problems.
Elena's whole family died. First her parents, and then Aunt Jenna, and then the teacher moves in. I
Honestly,
have
why aren't they
questions.
investigating Elena as like a serial killer?
No, truly, Jeremy has a giant bow and arrow in his closet. Are we not? Oh, that's right. The chief of police knew everything, and then she died, and now it's Matt.
And they sent
I
everybody outside of the town.
I still haven't finished this stupid show because it drives me nuts.
I feel like we
It
should try to binge it over Christmas and
drives
finish it out.
It drives me nuts though. Like I think it's a really good show. The characters just are so unlikable. Like all of them.
No, I get it because I for those who are new or have forgot about this whole Vampire Diaries
Vampire
saga,
Diaries.
I watched it when it was on. I definitely didn't watch season 6, so I'm happy you told me about that. But when Alicia told me she was on season 7, I was like, I'm in. I have surpassed her, and I'm like, the fuck is going on here?
That's the thing. Here's
It's gotten so weird.
here's why like Gossip Girl was a good show or like The OC is you didn't introduce a ton of new characters and there weren't a lot of rules. Like,
Well, there were rules of just normal people life. And
yeah,
that's
but
easy to
like,
follow.
okay, the rich hate the poor. I can follow that. This is great. One Tree Hill, you had kind of the same cast. You didn't introduce a lot of new people, and if you did, they were around for what, one episode and then fucking left. And then for the most part, it was like, oh, the
Well,
popular
it's like
kids shouldn't date
Brooke's
the uncool
love
kids.
interests would flit in and
Yeah,
out. And it's like,
but
that's normal
now
storylines.
you introduce the past, the future, the extra past, and then there's like doppelgangers. So half the time I don't know if that's Stefan or if that's his doppelganger who works at a hospital, but then there's another evil doppelganger who's not a vampire but is a vampire, and then you have witches, and you have half vampire half witches called something else, and then you also have normal witches, but the Bennett witches are more powerful than other witches, and then you have a grimoire, but that's different from the spell book. And then
Don't forget over here, you've got your werewolves and your.
I even forgot you got werewolves, and then you got hybrids, which is what Klaus was doing here. And then you had the originals for a little bit, but they left because now they have their own show.
But they're
And
still existing in the world of Vampire
then
Diaries.
we went way back because now we're time traveling with Bonnie, and we meet a serial killer in like an alternate universe. But then we also find the mother that has been trapped for some odd years, for who knows what, how long, with another group. And then you show up with Enzo, who I'm supposed to fucking care about. Like, oh my
Alicia, just wait. There's
God.
7 more layers added.
But then it's like, okay, it seems really easy for, my biggest thing is it seems really easy for like Damon to kill anyone he wants. But he's really hard to be killed, even though he's always being killed and hunted, I feel like. But then also add in that like he's supposed to be supersonic hearing and have all these fighting abilities and whatever.
The hearing thing pisses me off because they often will openly talk about other people, other vampires in the room. And I'm like, you're not even pretending to like, it doesn't matter if you whisper, they can hear you.
Not only that, they're always being taken by surprise. I'm like, you didn't hear him coming? You didn't hear anything? And then remember when the biggest issue was that vampires loved human blood? Now it's like we could be around all the humans we want. We don't even care.
Yeah, we're not even tempted.
We're bringing people back from the
They
dead with a
used to
stupid
compare it
stone.
to alcoholism. Like they used to say like the urge was so strong and they had to have it. And now it's just like, I forget that they drink blood because they don't even often drink it.
We don't even see them drink blood to live anymore. We have this stupid stone that we're bringing people back from the dead with, but it can only sometimes be used. And whatever happened to Alarc's wife's evil twin? He just disappeared. I liked Kai.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went. The twins are gone. Tyler ran away on his little werewolf travel. The problem is it got too complicated for me.
Well, it's hard because some of that stuff does come back over the seasons. Like you do need to hold on to certain rules or things, and like because it sometimes will evolve the storyline, and it's hard to know what matters and what doesn't. Because you're right, like Kai kind of mattered, but then it like ball blew up, and now it's just like, oh, drop everything you knew about Kai because there's this other 72 other people.
Yeah, he's on the loose somewhere though.
But we have these like half witches, half vampire things that also matters. So you have to like hold on to every single word that they're saying. I feel like I need a book to write and cross-reference everything.
It's even more frustrating because all I care about is fucking Caroline. That's all I care about.
I don't know what you're going to think about or where I'm at because like I can't even I can understand what's happening, but I'm just like I have no thoughts because I feel brain dead.
I love her, and I don't know anymore if she's going to be with Stefan because they're going to go on their first date, but his ex-lover, the half vampire, half witch from the 18th century, is like going to prevent them from getting together. I already know it. And then she's probably going to be mad, rightfully so, and she should just move to New Orleans with Klaus.
Who? Caroline or the girlfriend? Ex-girlfriend.
Caroline.
I agree.
Fuck that bitch. No, Caroline should just move to be with Klaus in New Orleans because they're meant to be. Because at this point, her and Stefan, the writers want me to stop her.
I thought Klaus like had someone because he had like a child.
Well, yeah, but they were never in love.
Oh, okay.
His brother Elijah is in love with Haley. It was Haley, the werewolf.
Wait. Because I've never watched the originals.
So good.
One,
So good.
before I get into my question about that situation, I think it defies the laws of like vampirism that a vampire can have a baby, but let me just
Well,
sidestep out of that.
Klaus is a hybrid, which was the original. So he didn't think he could have babies because he was a hybrid, because he's one of a few hybrids that have made it. But he's also the original hybrid. So he hooked up with, remember that the wolf Haley?
Yes, yes, yes. The one who
Okay.
helped Tyler
Yeah,
in the
him and
woods.
Haley hooked up, and then Haley was like, "Yo, I'm pregnant," and Klaus was like, "Well, it's not mine because that's the rule."
I'm
And
pregnant.
then
Not
and then
my kid.
they did research and they were like, "Fuck, I guess
They
hybrids
did
can."
research.
I
Shut
don't know,
up.
research. They found like a witch or something, and she was like, "You could, I guess, hybrids." So
Oh
then
my
we learned
God.
hybrids can. So now all the hybrids are like, "Never mind, we're not having like," but
This
there
is
are no
another thing.
hybrids.
As you said, research. It's like, oh, but the humans can't do any research. Like, we act like all this is out of reach from humans.
Yeah, I mean, Klaus fucked up, and he was like, "I guess I'll take care of this baby then."
I guess I'll
Um,
be a good dad.
and I liked that there was a lot of unknowns in the originals because they're like, we wonder how this kid's gonna come out. Is it a vampire? Is it a hybrid? Is
How
it
did it
a
come out?
unsure because they had to put the kid away because there's a lot of war in New Orleans right now. So the child is with Rebecca in a undisclosed location while Klaus kills
Stop.
everyone. It's honestly really the originals is
They were like,
really
wait, let's
good.
throw a baby into this world. That would be a great storyline. But also, maintaining a baby in this storyline, it does not
She's
work.
coming back, and I have a feeling
Oh, it's a
it's
girl?
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's gonna come back, and I know Madeline Klein at some point comes into the originals, and
Shut
I have
up.
a feeling that's the daughter. But I also don't know. She could be a witch.
She could be
But
anything she goddamn wants. I
Madeline Klein can
mean,
be anything.
I
But
did
yeah,
not have Klaus being a girl dad on my bingo card.
he loves that kid so much that he's killing fucking everyone. Because he's like, I can't be with my kid because this isn't safe. So I'm just gonna kill everyone till it's safe. And I'm like, rock out, girl dad. Make this world safe for your daughter.
If only
Because
every girl dad
the
could
amount of
have
people
that
that
energy.
tried to kill this baby, try again. Klaus isn't
Man.
gonna let that slide. But no, Elijah is in love with Haley, which
Okay.
was extra funny because Klaus like did not care about Haley that much. And Elijah's like, I love her so much. And Klaus is like, I will love her till she gives my baby for life.
I will love her until I get my child.
Well, he's like, I love you as my
Baby
baby's
mama.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Elijah's like,
No, I love
I
you.
must protect Haley. And Klaus is like, nah, let us both kill the town. And I'm like, yeah, let them both go. Klaus can do no wrong in my eyes. He's such a complex little character, which is why he should date Caroline.
I
There's
didn't
even a
realize
girl.
that. He
There's
was
even a
like
girl on
single.
there's a woman on the originals. He technically is single, but there's a girl that does have a crush on him, and she hates it. She's like, I fucking hate that I love this murdering vampire Klaus. And she was telling like not her therapist, but it was someone. She was like venting to someone, and someone's like, yeah, dude, you really like this dude. And she's like, I know. And I was
Oh my
cracking
God.
up because even she's like, fuck. It's like how
That's
Caroline felt when she slept with
yes.
Klaus. And she's like, I like him so much, but I
I
can't.
just wish Caroline would have given into it.
I wish Caroline went to New Orleans already. I know she's supposed to show up at some point. So I'm so excited.
How do you know
Because
that?
I accidentally got a spoiler of her in New Orleans, but then I thought it was just Klaus, and then Caroline showed up in New Orleans. I was like, oh no. And I kept going. I love
Okay.
Caroline though. She deserves better than Stefan at this point. And you said something about Alaric, which I was like, she's gonna date her teacher, which is gross. I'm so
It's
done.
complex. I don't
No,
fully understand it because I'm not there yet.
maybe I'll watch tonight. I've been getting back into Love Island UK, so I'm
You
busy,
are
but
here, there,
we'll see.
and everywhere with your
Well,
watching.
I have the week off. What else am I supposed to do?
Binge as
Perf.
hard as you possibly can.
Can't wait. Okay, well that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
That's all I've got.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. Do all the things.
Another successful week. Thanks for joining. Bye.